No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampSwimmer, and with me, as always, I said that backwards, the Bill to my Ted, Vespasian. I think we called that out last episode, but
I can't remember the tagline. What was their tagline?
Bogus, totally bogus.
Yeah, totally bogus. There you go. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. You know what? The game we haven't played in a little while is what would this character be in the Ninth Age? And I thought of a new archetype of a character. Who would Tony Stark be in the Ninth Age? And I have some initial thoughts while you collect yours.
Okay, go for it.
I think you could always go like Empire Sonstal engineer guy. You could go Vermin Swarm, kind of like mech suit, like shambling mechanics, like falling apart mechanics, but still work somehow way. But I think the ideal way is to go Dwarven Hold in a mech suit, like a Hold Guardian. And it also goes along with like he's like rich, so dwarves are like, you know, have riches and gold and stuff. He's a Dwarven Hold kind of maverick business guy who's got like builds his own mech suit and becomes the Hold Guardian. What do you think?
I like that. That's creative. I would not have gone to dwarf first and foremost. I think there's a play for, you know, the ID are sort of like the trades, you know, like they like their main thing is sort of like wealth and trade and innovation, right? They create all these crazy things. I could see an Infernal just kind of picturing a Tony Stark Infernal Dwarf, like, you know, shooting around on something. But yeah, I think those are both kind of cool. That's a good one. I like that one.
I can see the Infernal Dwarf kind of in the comics and in the movies. He's like, you know, a benevolent businessman, or he becomes benevolent. So if he's Infernal Dwarf, he's more of like a exploitator, exploitative business owner.
Right. I mean, I don't think most bad guys. I don't think a lot of bad guys think they're bad guys.
True. That's a good point. But anyway, let's move on to the battle report. Hey, we've got my game of round 1 of the challenge against Proxy Table Gaming. You got in your first game against Lucky Sixes, I believe, you got a 15, something like that, 15, 16, can't remember. And this is also not only just my round, it is the Saurian Ancient off. This game was played
the challenge within the challenge.
The challenge within the challenge. I'm playing Hyper G. We're both playing Saurian Ancients. The winner gets to continue playing Saurian Ancients, and the loser has to stop playing Saurian Ancients and play some other army. But yeah, this game was also played kind of recently after the first LAB book came out, so you might see some rules or names or point values that are associated with that. But it's basically, you get the gist of it. The gist of it is the same. And we played Dawn Assault King of the Hill. I'm excited. This was a really fun game. This is, well, that's a little close up. Okay. This is my list. Yeah. I have the Anarch on Divination with the Ancient Plaque and Forbidden Mastery. So he's got the 6 spells, 2 of which are Pyromancy. I've got the Skink Veteran with the Alchemical Arrows, the Infiltrator's Dart, and the Master's Strategist. So he can go with the other Skinks and then become Feign Flight. And has the bow, of course. And I can't field a Saurian Ancient army without the Skink Blunder. So I've got 40 Skinks. I believe they had spears. I had to recreate this list, so there's definitely some mistakes in here. I believe they had spears. I've got 2 units of 10 skink hunters, not 1 skink hunter. 2 units of 10 skink hunters. 26 Tegu guard with great weapons in the Koro Stone. The magnetic bows on 3 Thyroscutuses. The Thyroscutus that goes in the skink blender, the venomous fortress one. The 14 gorilla skink gorillas with that the skink veteran will go into, and then 4 Stygosaurs. I remember when I made this list, I kind of just wanted to try out all the kind of canoe and interesting things in the book. And this is what I came up with. Yeah. Yeah, like always. OP. And then Hyper G had different but still kind of close list. He had the Anuarch, but on Druidism with Rod of Battle and also Forbidden Mastery, because that is good. And then he had the Tegu Veteran with the Spear of the Dawn Age, Glory of the Dawn Age, Death Cheater, Potion of Swiftness on foot. He had 35 Tegu Warriors in Koro with Spears, and Skeptic Stell, which is gone. That's the thing that used to turn off Aegis saves. 20 Skink Warriors, oh, excuse me, 8 Raptor Pack, 16 Tegu Guard with great weapons and the Aether Icon, 9 Raptor Riders, the Thyroscutus, but this time he put it in with the Tegu Warriors, so it's got the combined strength with Great Protector, and then he puts the Monument of Vitalism on there, so that's his BSB. 2 units of 5 skink rolls with blowpipes, 1 with marking lures, and 1 with chameleon. 1 single spearback, a Taurosaur with the lodestone shield, that is the 5-up Aegis against ranged damage, and the Carnosaur, which he puts in with the Raptor Riders. That's not the alpha, but just the regular Carnosaur. So going into this, I had no idea who was going to win, because we have like very similar but very different lists. I don't know.
I think you got the scoring advantage, because that Styg is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And you've got the ranged advantage, but he's got, I mean, that Carnosaur has a lot of good targets. The Dawn Age guy does too. And Druidism just makes him a little bit more robust, right? So I can see it going either way.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, we played this game in Warhol. Woo, go Warhol! If you haven't checked out Warhol, please do so. It's a really fun tool to play 9th Age in. But here's my deployment. Did I forget I had Caimans over here? Did I mention that in my... I think I completely missed the Caimans. Yeah, I think I had 6 Caiman Ancients.
Okay.
Is that right? Or am I just showing the wrong list?
The rest of it looks correct. Just missing the Caimans.
Yeah. Okay, so let's pretend those are...
Your core looks a little light. So
yeah, maybe it's the core Caimans. Yeah, I think it's a unit of the core Caimans. Okay, so that solves that. Now my Caimans on the left. I got the Tegu Guard with my Anuarch in it right here. I've got the Skink Blender. I've got the Thyroscutuses with the bows behind my 2 units of Chaff. The Gorillas with bows with the Skink character in there, and my Stygosaurs on the far right. I can't remember who goes first, so let me just skip ahead. Yeah, I go first. This is after Vanguard, too. I knew I was going first, so I threw my Vanguard up here. He has his unit of Gorillas in the way behind the forest there in the top left. He's got the Carnosaur with the Raptor Riders here. He's got his block with the Glory of the Dawn Age veteran in the unit of Tegu Warriors with the Thyroscutus with them. He's got his bubble Taurosaur here, Skinks in the back, the 1 Spearback here, his Temple Guard with his Anuarch here, and then Raptors on the right, and then his scouting Skinks on the far right.
And it's King of the Hill?
Yes, King of the Hill, so I gotta get to that forest. And he's got to get to this terrain piece, this wall here.
Got it. Okay.
And, you know, I think I dropped most everything to go first. And this was his response to my setup. Yeah, looking back at this, I think I really misplayed the Stegosaurs. They're kind of over here just guarding against whoever's going to come around the side of the house. But really, the only thing that's going to come around the side of the house is some, like, cheap-ass raptors.
Yeah, I think I would have liked them over on the left, threatening the scoring.
Yeah.
Buttons. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right, my turn. I push forward. Nothing too exciting here. I bring the caimans around the house. I just zone with the Stegosaurs, which, again, I'm kicking myself for. Yeah, nothing too exciting. In my magic phase, I get the flaming swords and reroll the hit off of my Stegosaurs.
Oh.
And I think this is after the shooting phase also. You notice the Carnosaur is missing from inside of the raptor pack. I got him. I got him.
By those last humans. I mean, sorry, the Thyriscutus with magnetic great bows.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was happy with my success with that. Killed the Carnosaur. I think I did it with magic also. I can't remember because I do have to distribute hits, so it wasn't like I did it with just one shot. I don't remember. Yeah, but I kill the Carnosaur, which is a great start to the game. In his turn, he kind of turns the face and shuffles up a little bit, but nothing drastic. Yeah, nothing crazy. In his...
I think he took off one of his, like, most significant threats in this matchup, so I can't necessarily blame him for that. Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing he really does is he takes that Taurosaur and brings him over to where the Raptor Riders are, kind of bringing him over to his right flank. And in his magic phase, I don't think he got anything off. Oh, no, he definitely did. With shooting and with magic, he definitely, he put some hurt on my skink gorillas here with my character, and I think I fled from a charge also. No, it was after his movement. So it's definitely, he panicked them and they ran to there. So, nothing too exciting. In my turn, so I start to make some aggressive moves. I throw some chaff up into his big block here. And I've got I got 2 pieces of chaff waiting in the wings to do it again. And I really felt I shoved up my skink blender because at this point in my new LAB Saurian Ancient book career, I was all about the skink blender. And I thought, this skink blender can take anything. If it gets charged in the front, it can take on anything. That's what I was thinking. So I throw it up here in the center, and he has the Raptor Riders and his Taurosaur within charge range of it.
They have spears. I mean, I can't necessarily blame you for assuming that.
Yeah. I still feel like it's a great matchup there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. In the magic phase, I get off reroll to hit on the Thyriscutuses again. He obviously blows. It looks like I missed a picture here, but he blows up. He takes the chaff in the center with his big block and then turns to face it into the center. And he doesn't take the...
He charged the chaff with his Teguard.
You're right.
Big block, yeah.
And he just turns around to face. He doesn't charge with anything and just turns to face me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a decent...
Actually, I think I was there for this, and I remember him kind of like reasoning out that his Raptors and Taurosaur just get blown away by that.
Yeah.
Block if they come from the front, yeah. Which I agree with. But can they take a buffed 35-man Teguard unit with a Glory of the Dawn Age guy in it? I don't know about that.
That might be asking a little bit too much, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, and then he charges. He doesn't do very well against these skinks here, and they end up landing right here. And his shooting at magic is just not doing much. Well, he does have druidism, but he does have, you know, two pyromancy spells.
Yeah.
Let's see here. In my turn, I take the charge with these guys into the Raptor Riders, thinking I'm going to blow them up. I've only got AP 1, but I'm just going to put like a bajillion wounds into him.
I still don't understand why he didn't flee that charge.
Yeah, he would have probably fled off the board.
If he flees it leaves your block just like sitting right in front of him. I mean, granted you have chaff, but it still seems like an odd, I don't know. I think that combat is kind of a foregone conclusion, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice. Maybe he was hoping to, like, you know, would be like a spike or something.
And I tried this unit of skink hunters in the center of the board. They did rally, and I tried to reform them, and they are slightly chaffing the big block, but it doesn't matter. They can easily make it into me. I chaff his Tegu guard with another unit here in the front here. I continue shooting. I think the whole game I tasked the unit of skinks with magnetic bows into killing his spearback, and I don't think I did the entire. It's still not dead now. It's like, gosh,
man, I've had that unit. Like, I played against that unit a couple of times, and it just ripped me apart. And you were so unlucky with it.
Yeah. And I did shoot somewhere with the Thyroscutus, but I don't think it did any damage. Yeah, for me, just these shooting units are so strong on paper, but they're so swingy. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes you one-shot a Carnosaur, and sometimes you don't do anything.
And sometimes you don't. So in this combat, I end up not doing much. He doing not much to me, and he sticks, which is bad for my poor skink blender. Very bad.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is bad. And he, of course, he charges with the Taurosaur into my flank. He charges the chaff with his big block in my flank, and he's going to overrun into my flank and continue into combat. It's just not good for them. But then I can't remember why he did this, but he turned his Tegu guard around, and I think it was because I started shooting at it now, and I actually did some wounds to it, and he had not a big enough bodies and not a high enough bodies in the unit, and my shooting was strong enough that I could maybe really get to the Anarch. So he just turns tail and leaves. He's pushing up with his raptors. I do have these Cayman to back me up, but it's probably not going to be enough. Oof. So as you can see, he blows up the skink blender. He pursues with the Taurosaur. He catches them. I think he pursues with the Taurosaur and the Raptor Riders. One of them catches them, and the big block he turns to face my my Tegu guard.
Man, I guess the skink blender can't take like 1,200 points to the flank.
It can't. Sorry, I thought it could, but it can't.
Yeah.
In my turn, let's see what happens here. I just kind of move up. He's turned to face this threat. His Tegu guard, his threat in the center of the board is basically given up. So I turn to face charges in the center of the board, chaff the big block, and prepare myself for some counter charges. In the shooting phase, I finally take care of the spearback. He charges into the chaff in the center. He chaffs up my Caymans here on the left. I'm still feeling confident. I've got three chargers here that could at least hold on over here if I get one of them in the flank. This is just another picture of the same thing. And then, okay, so this is what he does. I take the chaff with my Cayman here. He kills the chaff and just reforms to be in this spot. Turns his Tego Guard into the back of the center of the board. And I thought I could take this big block into my my Tego Guard also, so I just put it up there, make him charge me, and then I've got another charge over here, or I'll charge his center, his Tego Guard.
So you didn't go for the multi-charge?
No, the way he positioned it, he could get everything in my front, or in his front.
Got it.
And I just think it wouldn't have been enough to have everything in the front.
Is his Tegu Guard block in line of sight of your Stygiusaurs?
Yes, he is now.
Whoa, that's a bold move.
Actually, you know what? No. He reformed to be like there out of my line of arc, and then I backed up a little bit to be out of his arc, and now he's in mine. Yeah, that's what I did. I bring those skinks with the character back down here to shoot the raptors. And there's no real, I don't know why I was thinking this. I didn't shoot at his big block, which I probably should have. I turned these guys and moved them over here to shoot at the Taurosaur. What's the 3 of divination?
Scrying?
No, so I get
Stars Align.
I get scrying or Stars Align off on.
I think it's scrying.
Yeah. So this is, I was thinking, I think this is a risky play, but I did it anyway. These Caimans killed the chaff, turned to basically chaff and face his Taurosaur, and take a Taurosaur charge to the face.
Did you do any wounds with the Thyros?
Evidently not, or I can't see it on here. It's getting a close game. So he takes the charge into my Tegu Guard. He takes a charge of the Taurosaur into my Cayman, and he again turns and chaffs my Stygiusaurs with his Tegu Guard.
Good old chaff with the 1,000-point unit move.
Classic move. I shoot off the raptors, which is cool. I think this unit is pretty strong. The skinks with magnetic bows and the character of the magnetic bow. Because it's strength 4, AP 1, hitting on 3s, hitting on 2s if you have armor.
Yeah. Strong.
Yeah. So magic, he gets off 5, which I think is stone skin.
It's a massive. You're distracting containment field, and he's stone skin.
It's gonna be a big old pillow fight.
Yeah.
And as you can see, he killed 2 of my guys, and I killed 5 of his. So it's a big old push over here. In combat with the Caimans, he kills 2 bases of Caimans. But I remember I did some work here. Nonetheless, I stick, which is awesome.
Okay.
And then I forget what I choose to do. I don't choose to charge his Tegu Guard.
Why? Come on, you don't think you got the juice to take off?
It was positioning. If I would have charged in, I would only gotten 2 guys in, or maybe 1.
Yeah, but then you just slide over and wipe them. I don't know. I feel like you could have done it.
What I choose to do is I move the skink unit with the character into position to start shooting him more. That's to whittle him down even more. That was the plan. And I do. He's down to 4 guys.
What turn is this?
I don't know what turn we're on. Why do you ask me these questions?
Relevant to the discussion.
I know this is about the last turn right here. because he really his dice come alive with his big block, and he does a bunch of work to my Tegu guard, but I knew it was the end of the game, so I wasn't worrying that much. And we're holding everywhere. I'm continuing to shoot at him. We're continuing to hold in the 2 combats. No one's getting the secondary so far, and that's the end of the game. I think we end up sticking right where we are right here.
Okay.
So kind of a stalemate, and the shocking thing is we end up with a 10-10. There is no decision on the new Saurian Nation off.
What do you do for the next round?
What we decided to do.
Does everybody get to play them or nobody?
We decided we still can continue to play Saurian Ancients, both of us.
All right.
But also
the loser is Lucky Sixes and I, because we both have to play the Saurian Ancient book next round.
I like that. Both Saurian Ancient players win, the non-Saurian Ancient players lose. Fantastic.
Exactly.
But we also chose that all of the players, including you and Lucky Sixes, can change their list if they want. Because I think this was also in the middle of one of the first update to the Saurian Ancient book, so it's a bit weird. We're just like, screw it. You can change, and everyone can change their list to whatever they want, and everyone can play Saurian Ancients if they want to.
Yeah, and I think to put it in the perspective of the timeline, I also think that there was a balance, the overall balance update, at least one of the waves happened between round 1 and round 2. So I think that was part of the other rationale that we had for allowing people to change their list, because I think the Arcane Compendium changed, for example.
Okay, so let's just go back to the beginning here. Any thoughts on deployment for either side here? I think you ended up playing, I think your overall strategy for the objective was pretty sound, in that you had your main scoring all headed that direction. And I think that putting them directly across from each other like that, I think your list is can be a little bit more aggressive forward. So I think that favored you in general and was a good move. I agree with you. The Stygiasaurs basically they literally didn't see combat, right? Yeah, they didn't do anything. And I was playing cautious too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just recently played against a list with multiple Stygiasaur packs, and they are just brutal. So I just seeing them not get into combat feels like a mess. But otherwise, I think that I would have liked to have seen. I think you had the option with 2 strong scoring units left in the late game within striking distance of Forest. I feel like you had an opportunity to get in there and didn't. So I don't know. I feel like it could have ended up being a win to you. But yeah,
I think you're right. I think I played too cautious. I think there was a couple charges I should have taken, which I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted to focus on shooting. I felt really confident about the shooting in this army. But that's okay. We are ahead. As a team, we're at 26 points, and they are at 14. So halfway through, Glory of Golden State's looking just fine. Just fine.
1-0-1. Unbeaten.
So we will get into round 2, where I will first you'll be playing Hyper G, and I'll be playing Lucky Sixes, and we'll have some new lists for you guys. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.